Hi and welcome to the Fussball channel and for this Champions League special as we preview the games of the Bundesliga teams ahead of this Champions League week, Dad. And we'll go straight into it for the Tuesday games. And we got Leverkusen playing against Paris Saint-Germain. What a great test for Leverkusen, that a team that's been in great form under Kasper Hjulmand and take on a Paris Saint-Germain that are very much beatable, I would say, based off current form.
Yeah, normally they're not beatable, at least not at home in France. I mean, they're winning everything there, but we've seen lately they lost in Marseille, by the way. The Serbs team beat them there. But of course, they are reigning champion in the Champions League. And as I'm speaking, I'm sitting in Munich. I'm doing the Champions League games Tuesday. Tomorrow, we do this on Monday night. And I look forward to the games. And this is one of the games I look forward to because what Hjulmand has done, really, Marcus, is that he's came in after Ten Hag and made them get out the potential in the team. Some players who came in to replace the champions team.
Mm.
They needed time. Ten Hag, well, he got two Bundesliga games and he was fired. And Hjulmand is a very sensible guy. Great win for him this weekend, winning 4-3 at Mainz, where he was fired back in the days. So this is one of the good games this round. I look forward to it. And Leverkusen got a win, 2-2 again against Copenhagen, and a draw at home against PSV. So they need to win because in this long and unbelievable big table, you need to be there or you'll be struggling big time.
And just put into context and why Leverkusen might have a chance of beating PSG at home. And yes, it's a different team from last season, the season before that, etc. But just one Champions League home defeat in their last six. They won against AC Milan, Inter Milan at home. The home record last season in the Champions League, had 4 wins, one draw, one loss. Who do you think the loss came to? Bayern Munich. Scored 10, conceding 3 in those six. Clean sheets against both Milan clubs. One loss in the last 10 competitive games across all competitions. And that goes back to the credit that you give Hjulmand as well. 13 points out of 15 in the Bundesliga since he took over as well, with a squad very much in transformation with a lot of young players back to sort of what Rolfes and Caro want to do in terms of building that new team that which they were quite dependent on. But in that, they've brought in a lot of key players, and we mentioned that in the Bundesliga review episode following this last match day. But you have a lot of young talents in Ibrahim Massa, Ben Seguir, Malik Tillman, who will be out of this game, but nonetheless, Enes Puku, Kofane, and then you have even in the back there from a centre view, Kwanzaa from Liverpool, Loic Badu, who obviously is French as well. So there's a lot of exciting talents there as well. And PSG 3-3 in their last league game against Strasbourg as well, second in the league behind Marseille. So yeah, I think there's potential there, but I would love to hear that your prediction for this game.
Yeah, sorry to all Leverkusen fans, but I will say Leverkusen 1, PSG 2.
Despite all the build-up that we said that Leverkusen
Yeah,
could beat them,
yeah,
huh?
yeah. I still think
Yeah,
that they will be too good against Leverkusen.
yeah.
But just remind people, they started very slowly last season as well in the Champions League and ending up winning the title. So we'll see. But PSG will kind of find a way to use their energy right. I worked with Didi Hamann on the last. It was funny. I maybe mentioned that last time, but I just remind people they won 5-1 in Cyprus,
The
and
Bayern this is.
Bayern did
Yeah.
winning 5-1, and Didi Hamann was a bit annoyed that Bayern ran too much. He meant that they should save their energy till March.
Yeah.
And I said to Didi, wow, that is a shout, by the way. Yeah, but look, Real Madrid win games without running so much. But I get what he's saying. I mean, the main thing is to be good in March, April, and May. But it was funny statement for Didi Hamann.
We'll see. We'll see what comes out of it. We go to Copenhagen against Dortmund. Copenhagen again taking on German opposition. We mentioned it there that Copenhagen had played 2-2 against Leverkusen at home. Following that, they actually lost to Karabakh, while Dortmund played 4-4 in that first game against Juventus, which they should have won, and then they won 4-1 over at Atletico. Atletico Bilbao. Lost their first game of the season, against Bayern, but and their first Bundesliga loss since 15th of March, actually, as well. But under Kovač, there is more of a semblance of a team, and certainly some Champions League ambition within it as well.
Yeah, and Copenhagen in terrible form. I mean, they're a very resourceful team, but very good organized, as Scandinavians normally are, and they did a good job against Leverkusen when Kasper Hjulmand, the Dane, come back to his home country. But I expect Dortmund to win this game. I expect them to play with the necessary discipline that they do have. They are good organized. They have a broader squad, as we saw in the Klassiker. Brandt came on, scored a goal, and Guirassy is a fantastic Champions League form. So I expect Dortmund to do well in the Champions League. Somehow they do. Remember the year when they went to the final again with Terzic, they had not a best of seasons, but in the Champions League they were doing well. So if you want me to predict this game as well, Markus, I will say that this is a 2-0 win for Dortmund.
Well, only 2 defeats in the last 19 home Champions League matches for FC Copenhagen, but only
don't kill me my form because they're bad form in the league.
I know, yeah. But I was going to say won only 3 of their last 9 league matches. So there it is.
Yeah.
The reigning Danish champions. We go into Bayern against Club Brugge. Bayern, obviously in just fire form. They beat Chelsea 3-1 at home. They beat Paphos 5-1 away to start their Champions League campaign. Harry Kane got 4 Champions League goals. He scored 10 of Bayern's 11 games this season. I mean, you would expect a trademark win for Bayern, but it's also one of those where you have to keep how do you balance the squad as well? Now we saw Gnabry with an injury. Stanisic is doubtful. You obviously have Musiala, Ito, and Davis out as well. But can we expect Kane should we give him some rest? How will Company manage that, you think?
Well, Gnabry felt in training on Friday a little thing in his adductor. That is, what is it in English? I
think it's a groin, isn't it?
Groin, exactly, the groin. That's what the word I was looking. So I thought if there wasn't, I'm not saying it was not a bigger game, but if they didn't have alternative, we would have played. Jackson didn't play well for them. Unfortunately, got a chance to play in a big game. So hopefully for Bayern, Gnabry will be back. Brugge started the Champions League season fantastically with beating Monaco 4-1, and they lost against Atalanta. But this is a clear Bayern win. Neuer got a new Bundesliga record. No players have won more Bundesliga victories than him. He beat his old teammate Thomas Müller, who scored at the weekend, Markus, but they lost your mate Brian White's team. They lost the game with a man sent off as well, so was struggling. But I think this is going to be a clear Bayern win. Remember, this is the main thing for Bayern now. I think now it's a 5 points lead they have in the Bundesliga to Leipzig, and that is perfect for them because then you can rotate. I'm not saying you're going to rotate more in the league, but you have to be on your toes in the Champions League. They want to make sure straight away that they will go in among the first 8, which will make them automatically go on. We saw last season there could be some funny draws with Liverpool, PSG, and all those kind of teams. So now they will go straight in. That they will put up a great team, and Harry Kane he plays for fun. He's not a guy that have small injuries. He just keep on playing. He looks after his body. So I say 3-0 Bayern in this game.
And that leads us into the last game that we are predicting and that we're covering, and that is Eintracht against Liverpool. Dad, what a great test for Eintracht. And these are the games you as Eintracht fan kind of dream of playing against Liverpool. And, ahead of the season, you look at that game and think it's a tough match. It certainly will be. But Eintracht might fancy themselves to give it a go at home to a struggling Liverpool.
In our main episode, I was talking about me being at Anfield this weekend doing Liverpool's loss against Manchester United. And after the game, I spoke to Arne Slot about the game at Anfield. And I said to him, when it was over, I wish you all the best in the next games to get away from this row of losses. But I don't want you to lose against my former club on Wednesday. And he was straight at it. He wanted to know, how did they do today? And I said they played 2-2 against against Freiburg. Burkardt scored 2 goals, and he was straight into, did they play with a back 5 or how they? And I said to him, yeah, I haven't seen it, just have seen the highlight, but I saw Rasmus Christensen were back, which is good for them, but I won't give you anything more, and blah 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 blah. So it was interesting, because this game will have another significant now for Liverpool. They won the first Champions League game 3-2 against Atletico Madrid. Remember, that was a intense, typical Anfield night, and then they lost at Galatasaray. And wow, if they're going into a 5th loss in this season. Frankfurt on their side, I mean, only Bayern have scored more goals in the Bundesliga, and nobody has conceded so many goals. So it's a you think of the great attackers as Liverpool having coming to Frankfurt, that is a bit frightening. Ekitike, I said before the game, when I saw the starting 11 against Manchester United, Isak was playing, and I said straight away, because Ekitike will probably play on Wednesday. I mean, you just feel that will happen, and you also feel that Florian Wirtz been 2 games now not playing against Chelsea and Manchester United. You have the feeling that he will play from the start as well when they play in Germany. So this is going to be a fantastic game. It's one of the games in this round, because there are so many things attached to it, especially with Liverpool's loss and how Slot react on that. When he made interview with me, Markus, he made no excuses. We just have to work hard, but then and this and that. But then in the press conference, he turned it around a bit, and he was talking about different things. And I do respect the managers after the games when they do these kind of interviews, because there's so much pressure. And this is the first time Slot has lost. I think before this game, he's never lost 3 games in a row. I know he lost 4 games in a row as a reigning champion. I mean, that is something to take, because in this game, you felt that when they go 1-1, they're 12 minutes before the end, you felt this was all Liverpool, because Anfield, the cup was unbelievable. They pushed them forward. And then Bruno with a brilliant volley cross to Harry Maguire, and 2-1 Manchester United. So Frankfurt on their side came back. It was a good win for them, a good point win for them in Freiburg, although the equalizer came 3 minutes before the end, but an unnecessary conceded goal. Santos will ask himself if he should have taken that after a free kick from Grifo. But Frankfurt was a good point for them in terms of informed Freiburg, and if you've seen the last games for Eintracht Frankfurt, that was good. But this is a big one, and I spoke to some of my colleagues. Jules Breach is doing a game; she's the host, and our Viaplay Premier Sunday. And I said, just look forward to this game. And I said, if you have any problem with Frankfurt, just tell them you know me, and we're all right. So
it's the truth. It's the truth.
Yeah. So I would love them to come there, because the atmosphere in our stadium is fantastic, and playing Liverpool, this is one of the highlights of the Champions League campaign for Eintracht Frankfurt.
And I think there's possibilities. On one hand, you mentioned there Santos, the goalkeeper, extremely young, talented goalkeeper. There will, however, be question marks related to him. Zentner, who they brought in from Bremen, was good. And then they brought in Carlos Santos because that's their future. And so it's an interesting choice that Topmöller has to make in terms of what effect does that have if you were to drop him or not. And then you have Robin Koch, who's a German national team player, captain, who's not performed of late, we must say. And then you have obviously on the attacking end, and which will be interesting to see them up against the Liverpool team, is that you have a Burkardt who's in great form, 7 goals in 9 appearances this season, 2 goals against Freiburg. You have Dōan, Bahoya, Knauf, a lot of pace, creativity, work rate that will ask question marks of that Liverpool defense as well. So to see that, but like you said, the defensive record, 18 goals conceded in the first 7 Bundesliga matches. Be interesting.
I will make a prediction.
I was going to go in.
Not only on the result, I will make a prediction that Liverpool will rotate a lot in terms of the team that starts against Manchester United. I think that they will, Bradley and Kirkus, the both fullbacks, will go out. He will put Robertson in. He will put Szoboszlai on a right back. He will play Ekitike. He will put as a striker instead of Isak. I also think that he will put Florian Wirtz in the team, and then we'll see who they will take out. Maybe McAllister. McAllister is not the McAllister of old. Got a knock at one as well. So I would think that Liverpool at least will make 4 changes to this game against Eintracht Frankfurt, which will make it even more interesting to see they comes to terms with that, to changing around, because there's no secret that when you get new players, and we talked about in the main episode about people coming to new clubs, when we become a lot of new players, you have to gel into that team. And remember, and I think that is a positive thing also for the Eintracht Frankfurt. At the beginning of the season, Liverpool I'm not saying they were lucky, but they were good and decided the games. They never played top. They had a Bournemouth game. They nearly came back back to 2-2, and then they're winning 4-2, and all those kind of things. But at the end of the last season as well, everybody says, yeah, but that was just because they had won the league or something. But they're not in a great period, Liverpool, now. So it's a good time for Frankfurt. And I think that the main thing for Frankfurt, they had nothing to lose. They would just go for it. They did that against Galatasaray, won 5-1 at home against Galatasaray, who later beat Liverpool 1-0. Then they went to Madrid, Frankfurt did, lost 5-1. So they're a bit unstable, not unstable, but they're not the great balance between offensively and defensively. So my prediction, I will say 2-1 win Eintracht Frankfurt.
Okay. No bias, of course.
No hearts involved.
That would be a tremendous victory for Eintracht, and they need it probably as much as Liverpool does. That concludes our Champions League preview. Let's see if those predictions come to fruition. We have no ownership over you following these predictions or not, for whatever means you want to use them for. But be our guest. But for now, Dad, auf Wiedersehen, and then. You're obviously covering the games in Munich as well, so you'll be right on it as well.
Yeah, I'm sitting at Sky Austria tomorrow. We're in a studio going through all the games, so it's always good to follow Champions League again. I've done Champions League in 2003. Then I did it with 3 years for Servus TV, and then I was 1 year where I didn't do it. But I just felt I needed to do Champions League, and I'm glad I got a chance by Sky Austria. So I look forward to that. Champions League is a big part of my life, and I think it's a big part of any football lovers, Markus. You yourself growing up with the Champions League, and that anthem is big time.
Well, we will talk soon. We will go through the Champions League. We have a Bundesliga review episode if you want to reach that as well. But for now, Dad, auf Wiedersehen.
Auf Wiedersehen.